that. We have the coaches to do that, the facilities. We have an explosive offense. As y'all saw last year, we have such an explosive defense too, lockdown defense. So, fans are going to be
joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Man, so the last practice of spring just finished up. How was spring for you? How was practices?
Man, spring went well. I feel like I worked on a little bit to get better, kind of working on my hands and footwork, some of my pass dropping. So it went pretty good, I feel like.
Good. So, Coach Torrey Becton, how has he helped you along your career in making you a better player?
He kind of helped me change my body comp around. He got my body a little better, helped me get a little stronger, faster, more flexible. So he's been doing a great job since I've been here to kind of get me right and to get me at the pace I'm going now.
Okay, and when you look at your game from your freshman year to your sophomore year, now going into your junior year, where do you see yourself taking the next step?
The next step is just recognizing what's going on pre-snap. I feel like I can do that a little better. I'm a junior now, so I've seen a little bit more. So I feel like that's the next step for me going into next year.
Yeah. As a defense, Texas rolled out one of the better defenses we've seen in a long time here. Yeah. And we see it with the draft going on right now. You got guys like Jade coming off the board, Alfred Collins, Darren Sorrell, all these type of guys. In terms of guys coming up through the food chain, who are some names that fans should start looking out for?
Kobe Black. I feel like he's going to have a really good year this year. He's a long corner. I feel like he's going to make some big plays for us.
Awesome. Last but not least, I got the opportunity to meet your parents and your little brother over there. Can you just kind of explain the influence they've had in your career?
Yeah, they've done a lot for me, man. They've been there every step of the way for me since I was born. They've been with me. My little brother been every step of the way. Some of my biggest fans, so I'm just thankful for them.
Awesome. I appreciate you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Yes, sir.
We just heard from Alex Okafor and Anthony Hill about spring practice and where he's at. Derek, I think, you've worked closely with Anthony and have known him for quite a while. Can you talk about his progression and what you've seen from him?
Yeah, Anthony Hill, man, he's a jack of all trades. He's actually wants to be good at everything. He wants to rush the passer. He wants to have tackles for loss. He wants to catch interception. He wants to do it all, and he can. He has that potential and that capability. One thing that he needs to do is make sure he stays healthy throughout the summer, get stronger, mentally grab some guys with him so we can all get on his level. And this defense is going to be a crew to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and we talked about the importance of spring and conditioning. And Rod, can you talk a little bit about that and the importance and what you see?
Oh, yeah, and you can see it with the guys, right, and how their bodies transform from season to season.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys, Anthony Hill being one of them, whose bodies transformed since he's been here. That's a big part of what Torrey Becton does really well, right? And not only do you have to have the freakiest skill sets, and you want that to be something that translates to the field, but you also want to translate to wins. Oh. So not only are the guys producing on the field, being developed, but they're winning. So right now, the strength and conditioning program and strength and development for Texas, I think is peaking at a perfect time because all the guys are playing at a really high level on the field, translating to wins, but also being developed, and the NFL is noticing that as well.
Yeah, and when you talk about that developmental piece, Rod said it best. You look at guys getting drafted, that shows where the development is within the program. What do we have, 11 guys go last year in the draft? This year we're looking at 10 to 12 guys going in the draft. Yeah. We're pumping and churning, guys leaving the program and guys coming in, and they're developing year after year. And that allows us to put these numbers out in the draft, and Coach Torrey Becton is the engine behind that thing.
Yeah. Hey, that's a great segue there, Oak. Let's go to a segment right now about Torrey Becton and a behind-the-scenes look at his strength and conditioning process.
Oh, Arch! He's ahead of you, Arch! He's ahead of you, Arch! You gonna just take me off? Drive!
Coach Becton and that staff is real important. They kind of helped me decompress from the season, also get stronger and get a little quicker and all that stuff, and kind of help me out with some of the nagging injuries that I've been having throughout the season and through the summer and winter.
My name is Torrey Becton. I'm the Director of Football Performance here at the University of Texas. My primary goal and my primary job is to make sure that my staff and I are taking care of the physical development needs of our football team. That spans from the weight room, the strength training, power training that we do in the weight room. It spans all the way outside to the conditioning, the speed development, plyometric training, all the modalities that we use to make sure that we're able to put the best product on the field come Saturdays.
Especially going to the NFL. I can't go in how I came in out of high school to the NFL. So him and his staff is very important, and we need them every single day.
The strength and conditioning program was essential for me. Those 2 years I wasn't playing. I think I got a lot faster, bigger, more flexible, so I was more injury-free.
The most important thing to me, and Coach Sark says this all the time, and this is something that we've adopted down in the weight room, ultimately we coach our guys and we correct our guys so that they get it right.
Focus on your technique. Do the job.
The exercises don't mean anything if the guys aren't doing it properly so that they can get the most out of it, whether that's a power clean, whether it's a bench press, whether it's the technique on a sprint, whether it's acceleration or top speed sprinting. We ultimately want to make sure that we coach these guys in a manner that they can do the drills right and get the most out of it.
Hey, no question on your finish. Make sure you attack downhill, great acceleration all the way through the cone. Let's go.
They emphasize speed, they emphasize power and quickness. And so how to do that? Well, you got to run on the field and then you got to lift weights. And so every aspect of strength and conditioning program has been, really cool for me.
We want to give our guys immediate feedback to what they're doing in the weight room. Football has evolved to a place where it's not just about lifting the heaviest weight, but what we try to do is we try to lift heavier weights faster than anybody else.
We're not just going over lifting weights. When we're in the weight room, we're lifting weights, we're running, and then at the end of the day, they still give us real knowledge to help us on and off the field.
Also outfitted in our weight room, we have a nutrition snack bar, snack area. I told Coach Sark, and I tell our players all the time, we can create the best workouts in the world, but if we're not properly fueling ourselves, we're fooling ourselves.
As far as nutrition, that's been a big step for me. Not eating queso every single night, chips and queso, or not getting a bowl of ice cream every single night. They've been pushing me hard.
I think one of the primary reasons that I'm as vocal as I am because I see greatness in our football team.
You got to have a little obsession, Kobe. You got to obsess about this. You got to obsess about excellence. Obsess about excellence.
And sometimes maybe the guys don't see it, maybe they don't feel it, especially when they're struggling, the work gets hard. But the thing that I want them to do is I want them to be trained in a manner that they know when they're doing well, they know that people are supporting them, and they know when they're falling short of their expectations, they have people around here that care about them that's going to lift them back up to the expectation and the standard no matter what.
Derek, all that talk of strength and conditioning, I think everyone out there wants to know what your program is now. You look good, man. You look a little different than when you played.
I need to be on Torrey's plan.
Good. So if he doesn't have that, it's going to come here. Good. You good there? Let's go. Let's roll.
The biggest goal for us every day is be the best version of yourself today. And if we can do that every single day throughout the week, then generally get a pretty good version of ourselves on Saturday afternoon.
Left hash. Left hash.
It's nice playing for a guy who's played your position, knows what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Love the throw. Love the throw, man. Hey, that's great anticipation. That's good trust.
You have a great relationship on and off the field, good back and forth, so that's all you want from the quarterback.
I want to make sure the line of scrimmage is really good today, you know what I'm saying? You guys got to set the tone, okay?
But my relationship is great. Since the recruiting process, it's been on going on 4 years.
Okay, but that's a mentality. Are you coming into these workouts to dominate the workout? Are you coming into these workouts to survive the workout?
I was going to play for Coach Sark because he's really understanding. He's hard on you, but he's loving. He kind of understands everybody, and he does a great job just being personable.
Here we go! I need good music, man! I want to get this right here, okay?
Me and Coach Sark have been really close over the last couple of months, just knowing that, we're on the same page, and it's all business now. So I'm so excited to see where we grow.
Coach Sark, it's a great relationship, honestly. Like, people don't really understand that about Coach Sark, that he's really a player's coach. And you could go to him, talk to him about anything and everything.
2 DBs. All you're working is a stiff arm. You are not going down. It is just a stiff arm.
Even though he's an offensive coach, giving me tips on the back end, giving me just tools and tricks that I can use.
There you go. Better. It's better.
He just helped me overall just become a better person, player, and man. Coming to the University of Texas, being coached by one of the great coaches of all time. He's had a great mentor, so every day he's pouring more into us about life, football, and schoolwork. Just to be able to take the knowledge from him and just put it into my game, it definitely means a lot to me.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice job, man. Nice job. This is practice 1. It's a good start.
Well, DJ, we just witnessed, behind the scenes with Coach Sark. I know you've been at practice and been behind the scenes. Can you talk a little bit about what you see in his coaching style?
Yeah, Coach Sark is a guy that really captivates these young guys. And if you're a young boy that's trying to become a man, you want to come to University of Texas because Sark will take care of you. Sark says all the right things. I'm at practice at times, and there are times where I want to say amen, just because he really hits the mark at being intentional about what he's talking about on the field, and it relates on and off the field. One quote that he always says is, who you are some of the time is who you are all the time. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And that shows you the example of the culture that he built here at the University of Texas thus far.
Yeah. And even piggybacking off that, even when you start talking about his coaching style and his play calling, he's an aggressive play caller. And that kind of takes the identity of this team as well. The players follow behind that, and they play with that aggression, and it's been fun to watch.
I'll add that he's innovative and progressive.
Yeah.
As an offensive mind, I think that it attracts some of the best offensive talent, the best quarterbacks for the playing systems that are innovative and progressive and modern. And I think the receivers also, they want to play in that system because he's really great at, weaponizing receivers and maximizing their talent. So I just think it's a very modern offense. The Longhorn fans love the offense, right? Longhorn fans usually complain about offenses. They don't complain about Sark's offense as much because it's a really aesthetically pleasing offense to watch.
All right, Coach. Man, it's been a great couple of days, NFL draft. How about these Longhorns making a childhood dream come true? And it's a testament to what you've done and what you built here, what the culture you set here. I mean, last year was a record. This year's probably going to be an even bigger record when it comes to getting drafted in an NFL draft. Talk about these guys going into the draft.
It's been awesome, DJ. Like, when we first got here, that first year we were a 5-7 team, and nobody got drafted. I never thought the day would come, like, I'd be the head coach of the University of Texas, we have no draft picks. And then, year two, we go 8-5. We have 5 picks. Bijan goes in the first round. You're touching on last year, we were a 12-2 team, CFP, or 2 years ago. We had 11 draft picks with Murph and X going in the first round.
Right.
And now this year, 13-3, first year in the SEC, going back to the CFP and having 3 first-rounders, and now a bunch more guys going. And, I think it's a credit to these players that when you invest in the team and with team success comes the individual accolades, awards, honors, and dreams. And they've bought into that, and they understand that, like, man, if I can just keep pouring in the team, the better we are as a team, the more opportunities there's going to be for all of us, for our future.
Let's talk a little bit about spring ball, right?
Yeah.
You got 15 practices. Every college that have that, and they try to span it out over 5 weeks.
Yeah.
How have you maximized? How have you prepared your team this spring? The separation is in the preparation. So how has that been for you this spring?
Well, I'd say this. I think, first of all, we got better as a team. Okay. And the reason we got better as a team is I really think every player on our team improved this spring. Now, we had 27 new faces this spring. So we had 22 high school kids graduated early and were here, plus 5 transfers. And so early on, it was like shaky. We had 22 guys that had never practiced college football before in their life. But I thought this was our best week, the last week, which is a great sign.
Yeah.
I thought today was our best day, right? And so 15th practice that we're improving in the right direction. And I think that sets us up for June and July.
Yeah.
And you know how important that is, right? That skill development. Now when we go back to those fundamentals, now that's understanding the why, and that'll start getting us ready for fall camp in August.
The transfer portal guys, we've been hitting.
Yeah, I know, man.
Go last year, this year. Talk about the signees that we have now, just in general, and how that completes our team. Those small shifts have make big changes later on throughout the year. So talk about those signees.
Yeah, I think for us in the portal, and well enough, like, it's what it's about here, right?
That's all it's about. The standards is high here, and you said that, Coach. When you talk about this team and being able to play defense at a high level, everybody talks about Arch and this stuff, and being a great quarterback, and you're a quarterback, so y'all the gurus when it comes to the offense side of the ball, but I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah.
You got to have a defense. You have
no
to
question.
complementary football. What does it mean to you to really stack this defense so we can affect the quarterback on Saturdays?
Well, I would say this all the time. Offense is fun, and that's what puts people in the stands. But you win championships with defense and playing. We were a good defensive football team 2 years ago. We were an excellent defensive football team last year. Yeah. But when you look at the end, right, those final 4 teams that were in the playoff, they were all great defenses. The teams that rise to the top are the ones that have great defense. I think we've got another really good one this year. We've got a bunch of guys that can get to the quarterback. Colin Simmons obviously coming off of a great freshman campaign. Anthony Hill now has got, I think, close to 15 career sacks in 2 years. Trey Moore, what he was able to do in year 1 with us, I think, was 6.5 sacks. We added Brad Spence from Arkansas, was another guy in the portal in January, who I think had 5.5 sacks at Arkansas last year. So the versatility off the edge to get to the quarterback, and then having that push up the middle, that allows those guys in the back end to ball hawk, play really well, create turnovers. And I think that's why you saw our pass defensive numbers go up so much last season.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Coach, from a former player, man, we appreciate you. We applaud you for everything you're doing. You set the standard high. So
No. You guys set the standard high. We're just trying to be like you.
I appreciate that. Last thing, Fan Day. Tell us about loving on these fans and what Longhorn Nation means to you.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. Like, our fans are unbelievable. As great as they are here in DKR, sometimes it's even more special when we're on the road, and we've been a really good road football team, and just seeing the eyes of Texas in another team's stadium is really cool. But the chance to get around our fans and a lot of the young people, right? A lot of these young kids who are aspiring to be Longhorns in the future is a really cool thing. So a little different format this year, but a chance for people to really get around our players, which I think is a great thing.
Good deal. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
DJ, that was a great interview with Coach Sark. Give us your thoughts on what you heard and what you're expecting for this team next season.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot, and that's a good problem to have. You know, here being a University of Texas fan, the bar is set high. The standard is a standard, and Sark has, going into his 5th year, has just illuminated this whole nation of Longhorns. And I tell you what, man, he is so proud of the guys, especially the guys that are here now, just working hard throughout the spring training and just getting better, developing, getting that 1% better. And he can't wait for the other guys to join us, like the transfer portal guys.
Well, DJ, you alluded to it. The expectations are high, right? And we just had a ton of guys get drafted in the draft. What are your thoughts, Rod, on next season? What are your expectations, and what do you see from this team?
Well, I think this is a team. They're at the point now where, and I remember when we got there, DJ, as a team where the practices are just as hard, if not harder, than the games, because the roster is so stacked with so much talent. I think they are at that point. You've had double-digit players drafted back-to-back years, going to the Final Four in back-to-back years. The only thing is left to break through. I do believe they have the talent now to break through, and I think ultimately the culture will probably push them over the top.
And when we talk about expectation, whenever we hired Sark, we knew what we were getting offensively. We knew what type of offensive mind Sark was. But this past season, I think, rose the standard and rose the bar in terms of what this defense is capable of. And we rolled out one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time from this Texas team. So what I'm excited to see next season, can we maintain that standard? We have a lot of guys leaving towards the draft on the defensive side of the ball. You talk about Alfred Collins, you talk about Jade Barron, Andrew Makuba, Barron Sorrell, guys like this. Can we replace those guys and still maintain that level of dominance? It'll be fun to watch.
Well, it's a countdown to August 30th already. Guys, what can we expect to see, or what can the players expect to see when they walk into Ohio State come this fall?
Oh, man, you talk about a team that's ready to go. I mean, we kick it off with a big bang.
A rematch.
I know that's it's hard to beat a team twice or even 3 times, you know what I mean? So we're coming up there with a big stick, and we plan to use it.
Yeah. I trust Sark in big non-conference games. He's been great, and the team's always really prepared. Yeah. Even when they lost to Alabama that 2022 year, they played him down to the wire. Yeah. I trust Sark in big non-conference games like this. I think the team will be ready to play.
Yeah, so for me, when I look at that game at the beginning of the season with Ohio State, the offseason can get a little long and get a little dry. When you have a game like that circled at the very beginning of the season, you have some motivation throughout the offseason. Yeah. So I expect that game to be our motivation and help propel us throughout this offseason and help us really get better.
Well, I know I speak for everyone when I say August 30th cannot get here soon enough, but we're looking forward to it. Thanks so much for tuning into the 2025 Texas Football Spring Wrap-Up.
It's been too long. This historic venue has laid dormant long enough.
We're back in Neyland, baby!
And man, oh man, it's good to be back. But when you come to Neyland, you better be ready to put in the work.
Effort, attitude, toughness. Who controls that? You control that. Let's go have a day.
Toughness, attitude, effort. That's what it takes to compete on this field.
Spring football. Play harder for longer. If we don't do that, we have no chance.
We use the mantra of 1-0. You got to win every rep of every set. That's in the weight room, right? On the practice field, you got to win each and every rep in every drill throughout the course of the day. And as much as anything, it's a mindset that you're completely invested emotionally, physically, and mentally.
Spring practice is a grind, day in and day out, with nothing on the mind but football. You have to be built for this lifestyle.
Perfect football weather. How about that?
And Coach Ablin is. In year 3 in his position, Alec Ablin has continually pushed the tight ends to be their best on the football field. His work paid off big time last year.
If you can get in 12 and run the ball and be a pass threat out of those sets, it makes it really tough to defend in addition to what the base offense is as well. And I think huge credit to those guys a year ago for being able to mentally handle all of it and process all of that. But it's also, I mean, just because we're playing with 2 tight ends doesn't mean we're not going to be explosive. But it's absolutely a credit and something that, you know, whatever the defense is wanting us to give them, we can give it to them.
Slow, good. Out of it, no drift, no drift, no drift. Sideline talk, good. Hey, Cole, not bad at the top of it. Where you really want to be? Like true divide. Yeah, like cut it down a little bit. And then same thing, if I'm tucked way inside, yeah, just slide attack me a little bit, you know what I mean?
Coach Ablin has garnered the respect of his players and peers, and it's because of his care and belief in the athletes in his room.
I could sit here and talk all day about Coach Abe. I mean, we hit it off from the jump, and Coach Abe's is a one-of-a-kind coach, and I couldn't even see myself like playing in college for another coach because he holds me accountable. He holds me to a certain standard, but he also lets me grow. You know, he gives me room. And he understands how it is because he was an SEC lineman, and so having him as my coach, he's really improved my game.
Hey, Jack, stay up. I can be straight downhill. If he runs around me, no big deal. But don't be in such a rush to get out on any of them. Let's firm it up.
I'm forever grateful for them because he knows the standard that I hold myself to, and that's to be the best tight end in the country. And so he helps me get to that goal every single day and pushes me to that level. Coach Abe's, that's my guy. That's my guy for life.
Here we go. Third quarter, start fast, 7-0.
Ethan Davis is entering his 3rd year in the program. He's seen some great players come through this room, and now he knows opportunity awaits this season. The young tight end is taking advantage of his role in the offense, and this spring is looking to make an impact.
Every group that I've been a part of, I've been a part of 3 very different groups of tight ends, and I felt like every single one, there was no question that we were all brothers in that room. The bond was always there, and I mean, no matter what, they just treated me like one of the guys, regardless of how old I was, how young I was. Just a true brotherhood in that room.
He's so powerful and has so much twitch and athleticism in his body that when he puts it together in the box fundamentally, he's going to have a lot of fun doing it.
In his time here, Ethan has had the opportunity to learn under some great teammates. And now it's his responsibility to take the young guys under his wing.
I know how important it was for me when I was a young guy for bringing me along. I mean, those guys taught me so much, and so I felt like it would only be right for me to show the young guys how to operate, how to do things, how to practice, because I will be doing them a disservice.
In the culture that Josh Heupel has built at Tennessee, brotherhood is paramount, and the tight end room is the definition of brotherhood.
It's really it's kinfolk right here, man. I'm infected with excellence. Say it again. I'm infected with excellence. You good? I'm good, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah.
We get a lot of good work in. It's fun. It's fun. It's physical. It's fast.
and we have a good time, but we get a lot of good work in.
The camaraderie between these players allows the whole unit to thrive. It allows brothers to root for brothers and not get jealous or envious of the success of their peers. Because at the end of it all, they know they're playing for the T on the side of their helmet and not the name on the back of the jersey.
Are we holding hands right now? Yo, yo, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Coach Ablin has made a tight-knit group